How much is your car payment?
I bought a car at an astronomical interest rate.
Since when did we stop making real cars and instead make them out of plastic with no frame whatsoever and sell them for insane prices?
All right, well, it's about that time again where I gotta show you some ridiculous car payments that people are making, along with the whole market in general, to persuade you to not get into some heavy car debt like we're about to see. Even with some of the changes and the new information in the car world, still probably not the best time to pick up a new vehicle. So we have a ton of stuff to go over along with some of your comments from previous videos. So if you want to be featured in a future video, leave it in the comments down below. Now you know what I have to start off with, so let's just roll it.
What's your car payment?
$958 a month.
How much is your car payment?
$1,670.
How much is your car payment?
$1,720.
What's your car payment?
$1,533.
What's your payment and what do you drive?
2022 Silverado High Country, $969.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$2,000 a month. I drive Chevys, of course.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
Actually, I have two cars that I have currently paid off, and my new vehicle is a 2024 Chevy Silverado RST 3.0 diesel, and it's $935 a month.
So last guy had two paid off vehicles and still had $1,000 a month for another pickup truck. So I mean, you could see the faces of these people that work at the dealership. It goes right along with a comment from you guys, a finance manager with 3 car payments. It's almost like a competition between them and making it the norm of 4 figures now for these ridiculous payments, or just several cars at once. We have a video that's literally just that, the highest car payments they've ever seen.
Yeah. I work in luxury sales, and these are the highest payments we've ever seen. It's our sales manager, Shaq. What's the highest payment you've ever seen?
Probably 4,800 to 84 months.
What's the highest payment you ever seen?
4,100.
What's the highest payment you ever seen?
3,250.
Jeez. Alejandro, what's the highest payment you ever seen?
4,300 on a lease.
Jeez. What's the highest payment you ever seen?
About $3,200 on a V-Series Escalade.
Ooh. All right. What's the highest payment you ever seen?
The highest payment that I've ever seen is $4,400. This young lady, she purchased a 2024 Cadillac Escalade V.
Ooh. Sean, what's the highest payment you ever seen?
2,700.
Ooh. What's the highest payment you ever seen?
40 bands down, 3,800.
Ooh. What's the highest payment you've ever seen?
2,800.
It seems like a lot of the $4,000 marks are for the Escalade V, and people are taking a bath on the depreciation of those vehicles. Just look at it, a few years old. One of them was like $4,000 a month for a lease too. It legitimately is a competition. But we have another comment from one of you guys. The car dealerships prey on their employees so much. When I worked at one, I was under constant pressure by the owner to buy or finance a new SUV. When I gave my notice, the pressure doubled with the tactics like you'll never get an employee discount or interest rate like that again. The employee discount was laughable. I knew how they fleeced customers who financed through their lenders. I stuck with my paid off vehicle. And that's what all these videos are made for. Normal people looking at these dealerships seeing now $1,000 or $2,000 a month. So the $700 a month you're paying isn't nearly as bad, and it's completely okay. These guys must be smart enough because they're paying for it even with the employee discounts and all the benefits they get, which I guess really doesn't exist too much. But we could head over to the next clip of what you could actually afford, doing the numbers.
How much should you be making to drive a 2025 G-Wagon? This one will set you back $156,000. Let's use the 24/10 rule to figure that out together. You're going to put 20% down, which means that your monthly payment is $28.81 per month. After doing research online, the average insurance and maintenance per month is $391.25. That means your payment is $3,272 per month. We're going to multiply that by 10 to get our monthly income. Multiply that by 12, and we need to make close to $392,000 per year in order to comfortably afford a G-Wagon.
So I know the G-Wagon is, of course, a very expensive vehicle, $150,000, but let's just cut all the numbers he ran in half, $75,000. Do you think all these people driving around in a $70,000 Mercedes are making $200,000 a year to comfortably afford these payments? Majority of them are probably not, but that really does not deter people at all. And I do want to say, if you are a genuine car enthusiast, then maybe these types of videos are a little different for you, because I just saw a video on TikTok of somebody saying, just go buy that car, you know, you'll enjoy it more than putting that money into retirement. And I think he bought like a $50,000 Supra. Even though that's clearly not the best financial decision, most actual car enthusiasts know they're going to lose a bit of money with their hobby, or they end up getting older vehicles that are still fun, so the depreciation is minimal. And I get it, that's what they enjoy, but many people with these car payments clients are not car enthusiasts. They just want to look wealthy with the newest luxury SUV in front of everybody else when they go to the stores or their neighborhood. I just recently saw somebody drive by with a new BMW iX with the custom license plate that just said iX. So if you know anything about this vehicle, it is an all-electric BMW SUV that just right off the bat, you know the depreciation is going to be unbelievable. But with a starting price of $87,000 for the base model. You could go up to the M60 with an MSRP of $111, but I saw the base model as it drove by. So you can guarantee whoever was in that vehicle just wanted you to know that they had the newest electric BMW. They got the base model and not the M60, which still $90,000 a lot, but still wanted to pay extra for the iX custom license plate. Some people you really can't help. You got to let them make their own mistakes, but hopefully these videos will help deter some people from losing tens of thousands of dollars in vehicle depreciation or possibly paying ungodly prices like this next clip.
1, 2.
Hey guys, it's Destined to Drive. Today we have Miss Rihanna approved on this 2022 Chevy Malibu. Miss Rihanna, how was your experience?
It was actually a great experience. Pretty speedy, very quick, very efficient.
How did you get here?
I actually took a flight. Got up at 1 a.m., flew from Kansas at 6 a.m., and I made it.
Miss Rihanna put $12,000 down. Miss Rihanna, how much are you paying a month?
I'm paying about $976 for 84 months currently.
If you're in the market for a vehicle and you don't know where to start, just shoot me a DM at Destined to Drive and we'll get you driving off today.
So these people are taking social media to get some of their customers with really, really bad credit to just pay crazy amounts of money for these cars. Just look at the hashtags for these videos. No credit talk, bad credit financing, car finance, car business, car talk, down payment, buy here, pay here. Oh man, the comments don't make it much better. Now that's what I call Grand Theft Auto. How do you put $12,000 down and still pay $900 a month? $900 for 84 months is $75,000 plus the $12,000 down. What kind of vehicle is that? It's a complete fleece, and is why I recently made a dedicated buy here, pay here car lot video. If you don't have the knowledge purchasing a vehicle with the interest rates and the payments and how long it's going to be, you could end up paying almost 6 figures for a Chevy Malibu, man. Oh, wow. And another comment from one of you guys, and these payments don't even include insurance. I'll be driving my 2011 Fusion into the ground. I believe the stat was in the past 5 years, insurance has gone up 46% on brand new vehicles that were already overpriced to begin with and had dealer markups and low inventory. It was really scarce. People were buying it without even looking at the vehicle. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just brutal.
Okay, so I'm literally so embarrassed to talk about this. I bought a car at an astronomical interest rate because, first of all, I don't know any better, and my aunt didn't know because my family always bought their cars in cash, so nobody knew about what it was like to take out a loan on a freaking car. So long story short, I pay the bank that like thousands of dollars in like one chunk payment. Lo and behold, I didn't know that you have to actually call their finance department and let them know you want that, say, $10,000 to go towards the principal of your freaking loan. So apparently I still have so much to pay on my car, but they literally took half of it as finance charges. Like, what? This is illegal. It should be illegal.
This is basically the consequence of the last clip, having no idea how much you're actually going to be paying by the end of the term. Even doing a lump sum payment and going right to the interest of the vehicle instead. Not knowing what to do, having the financial knowledge. Your family didn't do it, so you never learned. Not looking it up online. Again, same reason why I make these types of videos. But another comment from one of you guys, any car payment above $400 is insane to me, and that would be considered cheap now. I think the bare minimum is like $500 plus now for new vehicles, unless you're getting something unbelievably cheap like a Mitsubishi Mirage. All of these cars' MSRP is just going through the roof, and they're not even lasting anymore.
Since when did we stop making real cars and instead make them out of plastic with no frame whatsoever and sell them for insane prices? For example, take a look at this Hyundai right here. It's brand new 2024 and they have it priced out at $49,424. It's absurd how little $50,000 gets you nowadays for a new car. So for the average price of 1 year's salary, you get the cheapest plastic interior and most unreliable vehicle known to man. It's like they've completely lost their minds with this. Who's buying a Hyundai or a Kia for over 50 grand these days? If we even look back to like 2018, these same exact models were selling for roughly half the price. It's like over the course of a couple years, Hyundai went from knowing their place to now being a luxury car brand. Basically, it's easy to imagine that in another 5 years or so, if this continues, a new Hyundai could cost well over $100,000. And the worst part is these cars, they age like milk. They do not last.
And as we're going to see throughout the rest of this video, it's every car brand. I know he was harping on Hyundai, that I know they definitely have their problems, but all manufacturers are way worse than they were even just a couple decades ago.
This is a 2025 Subaru Outback. It will not let me actually open my climate control unless I open the camera on my phone, and then it will let me push all the buttons. And then I turn the camera off and it closes it back.
So this is what happens when all the knobs turn into just one giant screen. I know I sound like an old person and I want it to go back to the way it was before and all this new technology is ruining it, but it honestly is. What kind of insane bug is that on a brand new vehicle 2025? And this is going to happen with every single manufacturer because there are iPads in every one of the new cars coming out. And you can see by the comments, a lot of people agree. Bring back buttons and knobs. Note to car manufacturers, not everything needs to be a friggin' touchscreen. HVAC and volume should absolutely be a physical thing. It was trying to change the temperature in the vehicle and you had to open up a camera app because of some bug.
This is so ghetto. Wake up! Like, I can drive? What the heck?
And now we get to the portion of people arguing about manufacturers. Here's the comment. You bought a GM product. I feel about as sorry for you as the United Healthcare CEO. So this goes along with a comment that I got from my car repo video. I would never get a Ford, so I don't care. And that was talking about Ford making a technology that would self-drive future cars back to dealerships or repo lots if the car had to get repossessed. I know it sounds absurd and crazy, but Louis Rossman made a good video talking about this argument with phones. You know, people always argue about Androids and iPhones, whatever. And when one of these companies does a bad thing, everybody else who doesn't like that company or drives another vehicle makes fun of it. But from what we've seen with almost every company in every single market around the world is if one of them get away with something, everybody else begins to copy them. So when Buick is still selling their products with bugs or terrible quality control, having higher margins with each one of the vehicles or getting even more money for people going in for repairs, then all of these other manufacturers will do the exact same thing because it's just for money at the end of the day. And this isn't just random people on TikTok complaining about it. Car people and mechanics whose entire lives are dedicated to these vehicles are saying the exact same thing.
Models that were iconic years ago that we thought were bulletproof, and now this is what's replacing them. I don't care if it's Hyundai or Kia or Honda or Ford or Chevy or Dodge. All the offerings they have in 2018, 19, 20, 23, they're getting to be junk. I've talked to some of my friends, Cameron from DC Motor Works, or even Johnny the Car Ninja, and how we frequently talk about how the newer cars, Mercedes, Audi, it doesn't matter the brand. They're garbage. They're absolute garbage. There's so many plastic parts on them, and the engines are designed basically to fail. They're making the timing chains, the turbos, the parts, all the different things on it. They tweak it with their engineering to say this will last 100,000 miles. That's good. We don't need to go any further. We don't put another dime into it because the CEOs need their $50 million bonus at the end of the year, and we don't dare cut into that.
And people don't take this as seriously of an issue because of insane marketing. How many of these manufacturers have made it your being to buy these certain vehicles? Having a pickup truck, having a muscle car, or looking super wealthy in a Mercedes-Benz. And if anybody says something bad about the type of car that you drive, now you're against them. It's basically turned into modern day politics, but you bought into it and are actively losing money off of depreciation every single day just to defend these companies who are actively making their products worse every year. So when we see something like this in the next clip, you better know it's going to be coming to other manufacturers.
Jeep and all of its subsidiaries have decided to go full shittification with advertisements that pop up on the car dashboard every single time that you stop. Basically, every single time you stop your Jeep brand car, an advertisement is going to pop up, and the only way to turn it off is to continue to drive again, or as the support says, you can always click the X in the corner. So this decision was made by Stellantis, which is the parent company of Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, and a whole bunch of other common vehicles. So what they've decided to do is introduce full screen pop-up ads on its infotainment system. And these ads appear every single time the vehicle comes to a stop. You stop at a red light, ad. You stop because somebody walked in front of you, ad. You park the car, ad. You get stuck in traffic, ad.
And this is just going to be the beginning, like BMW with the subscription model heated seats, like $7 or $8 a month. And now tons of different manufacturers have paywalls behind what should have been normal on vehicles, especially if you pay even more for trim levels, just because the seed was planted from BMW a couple years ago. And Jeep is doing it now with ads. A little tangent though, because we are on Stellantis, I have no idea what they're doing with their company in general. One of the few reasons why people buy Chargers and Challengers is the engine and the sound. You get all of that supercharged power, and what did they decide to do? Make the Challenger a EV, and everybody's making fun of it.
So we got the new Charger out, and we got the sport mode on, and here is the new augmented exhaust noise. Oh my god. It's so silly to me. There's a little slot that says insert man card right here. Pretty much. Rev it up, Jeffrey. There's your speaker. Exhaust speaker. Doesn't blow smoke, it just blows speaker noises. Boo, Dodge, boo. You got a boo from the Mopar man. Boo!
The comments are pretty funny too. Those cars are going to sit on the lots for years. Imagine the speakers blow and sound like a straight piped Civic. Rev it up, Jeffrey. Like, it's almost like the higher ups in these companies are completely out of touch with reality and don't even know what their customers want anymore. It's just unbelievable. But we could keep going with the terrible quality. Recalls are nonstop.
U.S. companies GM and Ford are undergoing a series of embarrassing recalls and investigations over their shoddy car production. Almost 1 million GM vehicles are under investigation following reports that the engine can suddenly seize up and stop working without any warning. One of the models under investigation for the engine failures is the Silverado pickup truck pictured behind me. This was GM's bestseller in the US last year and the second best-selling vehicle in the United States overall. The Escalade, Tahoe, Suburban, and Yukon are also some of the other models that are currently under investigation. Now, for its part, Ford has been forced to recall over 270,000 vehicles due to battery failure. In the Ford Bronco Sport and Maverick models, the 12-volt battery may suddenly experience degradation and just fail.
And to add insult to injury with these types of vehicles, we're seeing insane prices for something that will fail.
Never understood the point of buying a mid-sized pickup truck, but now this can't be any worse. I mean, look at this, $50,000 for a mid-sized pickup truck. What is this? Like, why are you gonna pay $50,000 for a Chevy Colorado? I didn't even pay anywhere close to that for my Silverado last year. That's wicked. And you're gonna get the same MPG as a full-size pickup truck, basically. That's wicked. And then you get, what, the tiny little bed? Tiny little bed. Granted that this is bigger than the last generation, so I'll give it that for like the back seat and stuff. But at this point though, why wouldn't you just buy a full-size pickup truck? All right, let's see what like a steel wheel base model is. Almost $40K For a base model? Wow.
So these are $50,000 because if you want to get a full-size pickup, they could be 60 or 70 or 90, 100,000 we've seen. And I know the same argument's probably going to be popping up in the comments section. Instead, you should probably get a Toyota or a Lexus. However, have you seen the price of the Tacomas if you don't want to get a Colorado? They're even more expensive. I think the top-end TRD Pro is like $65,000. So none of these vehicles are cheap. And even the increase in reliability buying a Honda or a Toyota doesn't mean it's bulletproof. If you know anything about the space, the Toyota Tundras have had a ton of issues with engines failing. There's also been issues with the Tacoma and Honda products as well.
Toyota Tundra engines blowing up isn't something I imagined I'd see headlines about, but apparently it is a real issue. Honda is recalling another 720,000 vehicles, and this comes just after they recalled 1.7 million earlier this month for a steering issue. Toyota is recalling over 500,000 trucks and SUVs due to axle failures and a weird transmission issue.
Even if it is probably a better deal than most of the other manufacturers in today's world, if you look at the exact same models 15 years ago, those vehicles are made so much better and will last so much longer than what's coming out right now. Another comment from one of you guys: I waited 2 years to find the truck I wanted at the right price. My patience saved me $28,000 in the end. It's up to the consumers to stop paying ridiculous prices, but I still think they have some wiggle room to keep going down because people cannot pay these prices.
Show you how bad repos are getting and how new these vehicles are that are getting repossessed by the banks and being sold at the auction. All these are repos, all brand new cars. You got Chargers, Catbacks, Mercedes, Genesis, Range Rovers, Range Rover trucks, Teslas, 2010, 2012. These are 2019, 2020s and up that are getting repo. People are barely had these cars for a year, maybe less, maybe more, and the banks are picking them up and selling them at the auctions for a fraction of what they bought it for. High interest loans, people bailing out of their auto loans because they can't even afford it.
And he just keeps going on with this, showing you vehicle after vehicle. Now, I know a whole ton of people in the comment sections are asking how they could buy these cars for a fraction of the price, but you need a dealer's license, unfortunately, so you need to be a car dealership, and then you can get the decent deals. But then, of course, in turn, they'll buy these vehicles and then resell it on their lots for much more. Okay, so sorry for butting in, but I found another clip while I was editing this video too good not to put in, because I think this adds on to the hype of Toyota right now being at least more reliable than other cars. And with the demand going up, the prices have gone up along with the deals that you could possibly get. Especially if you don't do your own research, you could end up spending $60,000 on a base RAV4.
We've all made ridiculously stupid financial decisions. And this one right here was my ridiculously stupid financial decisions. This is a 2024 RAV4 that I bought last year, brand new in 2024, February. So exactly 1 year ago, I bought this car. I went in, did the trade-in, told the guy, you know what, I'm in your hands. You've proven to me and my family, because he's also sold to my family, that you are an honest salesman. We trust in you completely. He sold this car to me, put 14% interest rate, and snuck in a couple of other things, him and the finance guy. So I'm paying $63,000 for this car, 72 months, or about $800 a month. All thanks to the fine salesman in West Kendall Toyota, Miami. Not only that, they've screwed over my brother and my dad. Somebody that we completely trusted in, that I don't know why we thought it would be wise to trust a salesman.
Okay, so there's a few things about this clip. First, at the beginning, he said that he sold to the family. Everybody trusted this salesman, and then at the end, it seems like all of his family also got screwed, including himself. $800 a month with a 14% interest rate on a base RAV4. This isn't the XLE hybrid. As bare bones as you could get, and he said other stuff was snuck in, maybe even dealer markups because of the demand with Toyota right now. So buying something that's supposed to be more reliable definitely doesn't guarantee you having a good deal. On the other hand, he signed the paperwork that had the ridiculous deal. It's just as much his fault. You really have to do your own research with every single vehicle purchase, no matter what car brand or trim level you're going for. Now, one thing that I did come across in the car world are sets of videos where they're taking older SUVs, cars, whatever, and upgrading them to the newest model year. Now, I don't know if I'm just completely getting baited right now and I look like a fool and they're doing this just for views, or you could actually do this and just buy the newest body panels with a 15 or 20-year-old skeleton under all of these these plastic parts. I'm not sure. I thought it was pretty funny though. If this is actually true, I bet there'd be a ton of people getting scammed looking like they're buying a brand new BMW SUV, and you realize you probably bought an X3 or an X5 that's 20 years old. But to finish off this video, we're going to go on a little bit of a tangent because it's not just cars. I'm not a huge boat person. I know that I will never own one in the future, but even in that market, which could be unbelievably expensive, as all of you probably know, seeing people buy $100 million super yachts and all that kind of crap, the same lack of quality with increased margins are going into boats as well.
Every boat show that we've been to, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
We see more crappy work coming out of these boat manufacturers.
I don't think they like us here too much because we're kind of like exposing the things of these boats, and they kind of heard us talking, so they're like playing music so we don't get to record. We don't care because we're going to bring you the truth.
We're at the Orlando Boat Show. We're uncovering things that the boat manufacturers don't want you to see. We did the dirty work. We went into the bilges, we stuck our heads in the consoles, we reached into places that we're not supposed to see what's wrong with these boats. And we made some shocking discoveries, as you're gonna see, right? And we wanna share them with you.
So even though we're talking about cars in this video having worse quality with higher prices, higher monthly car payments, because this is still working with the customer base buying new vehicles, what other markets could they do the exact same thing and take advantage of people buying? This kind of stuff is only going to get worse unless consumers stop buying, but that vanity and wanting to feel super wealthy, having a really nice car, or just a brand new vehicle in general to show off to your peers, your co-workers, anybody you live with, the neighborhood, lets all of these car brands get away with some of the worst products they could come out with. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.